Welcome back to Central Ontario. Didn't you know I'd picked the coldest day so far this year to mount that snowblower? It's negative 15 degrees outside. Remind me sometime to start saving money so I can build a garage. Alright, it's going to be a little chilly and we're going to be working on the ground. So I think I've got everything I need to get it done. Should be pretty simple. Got a tarp so I can get it under the tractor for laying underneath. I've got my grease gun. Got some spray lubricant. You might recall that we need that for the chute. Got a little bit of white lithium grease, and we're going to need that for one of the pins that goes under the subframe. Got the front part of the PTO. The other part's here. Going to have to grease everything up. Grease our zerks. Get her loaded up, and hopefully we'll get out of here before we get too cold. This is the subframe that comes with the front mount blower. So, as you may recall, there's a permanently affixed drive shaft in here. And basically there's a shaft that comes from your mid PTO to one end of it, and then a secondary PTO shaft that comes from the front to the blower itself. So we're going to make sure that all of our splines are greased, the PTO's greased. There's several different grease zerks on this unit that we need to get greased as well. This connecting pin here is where I'm going to throw the lithium grease. It feels like there's a lot of grease in there, but I like to throw a little in at the beginning of the season just to make sure. And once we get everything greased, then we'll start mounting. So, two things to remember when you're putting in the subframe. This pin, which you see here, only goes in one way. The holes for your cotter pin are on this side only. The other thing too is this is long. So what you need to do is start the tractor, turn your wheels to the left first so you can get the pin in, and then once you get it in, you can get back around and hook your cotter pin up. Okay, pin is in. This is the left side of the tractor. Just a quick note while we're getting this pin in, you'll see that on both sides of the subframe at the back, there are two huge bolts on either side, and that's for this middle bracket. And when I first got the snowblower, this was actually not lined up with its pinhole. So I had to actually undo these bolts, slide the bracket about 1/8 of an inch in order to make it match. But now it does. Works like a charm. Great. Alright, now that the pin's in, we can now tighten up the front. And regularly throughout the winter, you should always check this bolt because there's nothing there to hold it tight. There's no lock or any type of a latch. So it'll eventually start to loosen up over time as you're bouncing around on the driveway. Okay, here's your drive shaft. This is what's going to connect into your mid PTO and connect it through to that axle that's in the subframe. So again, we just want to make sure, get a little grease in there on our Zerks, make sure she's ready to go. When you're putting this drive shaft in, best to always connect it at this end first because there's play in here, right? Okay, and as you can see, I can push it in pretty far. It's actually got its own grease zerk as well, by the way, so it helps you to grease throughout the winter. Okay, and now that you've got this part in, you push it back as far as you can, and that'll give you enough slack so that you can connect the PTO in the rear here. Okay. Your shaft a little wipe, just get the dirt off. I already threw grease in the PTO on this end. Alright, there's the click. She's in good shape, but she's on tight. Okay, excellent. Let's get the front end done. Grease up our PTO shafts and our connections, put them on, and then get ready to put the tongue in. Okay, so that's how you spend a day when it's negative 15 degrees outside. Pretty quick to put on, pretty easy to put on. Kind of a difference if you're thinking about a snowblower. I've got a front mid-mount snowblower, and the reason why I bought it for the front is because, as you know, my driveway is almost a mile long. And they've got snowblowers for the back 3-point hitch, but I can't look backwards for a mile. The challenge, or the negative to putting a snowblower on the front, of course, is that on this particular model, I'm not sure about other models, but you can't leave the subframe on. So if, for example, a tree goes down and I need to grapple, I have to disassemble the whole thing and take the subframe right off the tractor in order to put the front end loader on, because you can't operate the front end loader with the subframe still attached. So something to consider. Anyways, I just got to connect up my cables. I'm going to head over to Guy's place, a little warmer in his garage, and we're just going to finish greasing up the chute. And then other than that, I think I'm winter ready. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around with me. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting videos, just click the little bell. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again. Cheers.